Part 2, Archangel questions. The person asks the questions, and the Archangels answer. They've been doing a great job as always. Thank you, Archangels. We'll continue. We'll continue on. Dear Archangels, where should she meet her soulmate? Alright, first card to answer that question. First of 3 cards. Wow. Breathe. Green card, Raphael. Again, healing. Yeah, that's what they've been saying. If you notice, they would just keep showing you a lot of green. Because like I said, you are kind of rushing it, which I think is a major mistake. But I was trying to wait to see what they say. I was waiting for you to ask that major question. And I was waiting to see what they're saying. Because you're making a big mistake. You're trying to dive back in. And you don't do that. You heal. You learn a little bit about relationships. You just learn stuff. Because otherwise you're just going to play yourself out again. Breathe. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and release old patterns. So first you got to breathe those old patterns out. He just told you how to do this. This is Raphael. The name of the card is Breathe, but it's all green. It's all about healing. I don't know how you guys do that. Like you're obsessed with love, but you don't realize that's hard work. It's not just sex. It's not just somebody making you feel good. It is unbelievably hard work. When you get past all that lovey-dovey stuff and all that hugging and all that stuff, and you got to really deal with issues and communication and putting up with somebody's craziness or their in-laws or some crazy stuff, that is hard work. And what a lot of people don't ever talk about is a woman and a man is systematically different. How they look at life, everything. And that's the compliment, but you got to understand that because you got to get to the point where you can accept it and just accept it and let it go for what it is. That's the real Libra. The real Libra is when you could accept a woman for being a woman and a man could accept a man for being a woman, man, and stop driving each other crazy, trying to change you, trying to make you into their image. Breathe. Second card. Chakra clearing. Metatron again. Again, Metatron is Virgo. Still about healing in small children and home. Because they're kind of advising you to try to put your mind on that more. Your family, things like that. And this has been a theme throughout this reading. Metatron, Virgo energy. Now, Raphael, Haniel, and Michael, the archangels, they don't correspond to just any one planet or any one sign. So they're higher than the other 12. There's 15 Doreen Virtue archangels altogether. Chakra clearing. So there's a chakra. Call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. Now, if you don't know about chakras, again, this stuff you could really research right on a search engine if you want. And again, as I said, we also offer research services where we do videos and explain it and things like that. So again, it's saying get your chakras together. It's 7 main ones. Do you know what they are? Do you understand that? Because you don't want to go back into a situation where, the first one you kind of dived in there and that's what happened. And then you get out of it or whatever's going on and then you dive back in. And even Joe Fiel said, clear your clutter, I think she said. And what that means is like that's what people do. They dive right out and then they're dragging all the stuff from a past situation into the new. And it's kind of like which we don't do, but really when you meet a new person, they deserve a new situation. They don't really deserve to hear all that unless they want to. But even then, you got to really act, because somebody will act like they want to hear, but they really don't want to hear that crap. They don't want to know about what happened on the other guy. They really don't. Maybe in time as they get to know you, but not in the beginning. But some people say, "Oh yeah, sure, I want to hear it," but they really don't. So even if you want to tell them, you have to make sure they really want to hear it, because nobody wants to hear it. A lot of us have been through horrible relationships. And you kind of got to learn how to lick your wounds and heal and move on. And that's why he's saying learn how to breathe, learn how to release those patterns, because holding on to them is not going to help. And I keep trying to say you'll get summoned by that energy. That energy will keep going out because that's all a person thinks about. Oh, where so and so hurt me. Why? So that energy they keep putting out to the universe, it'll start coming to you, and you'll see your dreams will start changing and stuff like that. Like why are my dreams becoming so? Because that person's still thinking about you and all that crazy stuff. Third card to answer this question: patience. Jophiel again. Patience. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. And nurturing is always that motherly. And Libra, which is Jophiel, is ruled by Venus, and Venus rules Libra and Taurus, which is your sun sign, I believe. And Taurus is known for patience as well. So, like I said, you're doing yourself a disservice because it's not really healing and getting yourself together as well. And then even after you do that, you have to find somebody who's mature enough to deal with you like that, because otherwise that person's gonna still take you through a whole lot of foolishness. And Jophiel is out in her garden, because that's a great place to go out in nature, go out with trees. That'll really help you with your healing process and your spiritual growth as well. Guns N' Roses, baby. Axl Rose, baby. Patience. Patience. So even though she asked, where should I? They didn't answer, where should I? They basically told her what needs to be done now. And they're like that. That's why I love the Archangels. They'll tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That's why people out here on YouTube, there's a bunch of crap. Because they sit here and just, as long as they're making money, they'll keep marketing it. They don't tell the people what the Archangels are really saying. And if you do that, you got to pay for that. That's like a universal. That's like being a court magistrate, and you're using the power and authority of the court, but you're lying to the people, and you're using that to make yourself rich. You got to pay for that. Dear Archangel, who is she to the Taurus? I'll be back with the answers. Okay, now the question was, who is she to the Taurus? And she wrote Divine Masculine. But the reason why I couldn't say the Divine Masculine, because that's an assumption. And the question you're asking them is, who is she to the Taurus is the actual question. Because you can't add more, and that's like leading. Like we say, leading a witness or whatever. That's leading because if you want to know who they feel the person is, you got to let them tell you. First card. And this is the first time Gabriel. This is the first time Gabriel has shown up. He also corresponds with the moon. And he says creative writing. Make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen an article or book. So for some reason, this person you're asking about, the answer they came back with was creative writing, because Gabriel always tells people to write and even make a career of it. And if you are going to be a writer or something, you want to get your Archangel Gabriel deck card, because I know he helps me out a lot. Any musician, any artist, poet, whatever you are, you need your own Archangel deck, or you need somebody to give you readings from Gabriel's deck. Next card. A lot of the same color blue is coming out. Claircognizance. So with this person or you have extrasensory perceptive gift, ESP. It says pay attention to thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. It even got the rainbow. Just so you know, this card is a Uriel, Uranus energy, and it's got the rainbow. And if you remember, Uranus is in your seventh house of relationships and partnerships, and that's also the like lawyers and Libra. So that's interesting, and they give you a unique color blue, which we're definitely going to find out about. A unique color blue and orange, both these cards, and it's got the nerve that has a rainbow. And like me, this female recently saw a double rainbow. I never saw a double rainbow in my life till after that full moon. So you will have some type of extrasensory perceptive connection to this individual as well. Next card, and this time 4 cards came out, not just 3. And there it is, Taurus, your Taurus card, because this gentleman is a Taurus. And the Taurus card came out, Chamuel. And I believe that's the first time Chamuel came out, and he's holding a dove, just like Hanael is. Hanael has 3 doves. Chamuel says peace. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. And he's got that peach color too. He's got other colors too, but he's got that peach color of healing. Fourth and final card, Michael. That same type of bluish color. You are safe. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and home. So, the archangels appear to be saying positive things about this male you're asking about. In fact, two of the most well-known archangels are Michael and Gabriel. They both can't answer this question. So give me a second, because now we got to find out about this color blue. If I could find it. I want to use my other chart first, and then I want to use the chart I got this morning. Help me, Lord. It's like a real hot day, even with the AC on. It's like a stagnant heat. because the color for Gabriel and the color from Michael are the same. It's color blue, but the color for Uriel is off. Maybe a little lighter. It's a unique, but I still would say it's blue, but it's lighter blue, but not real lighter blue. It's interesting because some people like navy blue is a little bit darker, but then it says ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue is what the color of this card pretty much looks like. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what this is. Ultramarine blue. And there's another color that's similar to it called the navy blue, which is interesting. Years ago, you couldn't find like information that I'm looking for now, and I'm able to find about the colors and stuff like that. That just shows you how more and more metaphysics is becoming top. Pablo Picasso, during his blue period, he used a lot of ultramarine blue. This guy may have been in some type of military, just so you know. But these are warriors, even the colors. He might have been in the water. Not literally in the water, but in ships. And when Uranus, he does have a Uranus vibe. And Uranus is technology, like high technological ships. All right, but we still want to get. I'm gonna do it again. Color and meaning, because I want the meaning. Come on. It said ultramarine is here to stay. Bow down to blue color story. Artistic network. So it might even be some art here because that's why Gabriel showed up. And he said something about creative writing. And then they're talking about all this artistic stuff. The history of the color of blue from ancient Egypt to the ultramarine blue is the world's costliest color. Give me a second, my cursor just froze up. All right, here we go. The color blue speaks of honesty, truth, cool blue sea, and the expanse of the open sky. So don't tell me he's a pilot too. Dark blue, which is this kind of dark blue, symbolizes intellect, dignity. The psychological effect of blue has a calming effect. Because that's what she was seeing. She was seeing the two women, and I think one had red. I think later on she saw blue as well. Blue commands respect when worn. Link of the dark blue uniforms of the U.S. Air Force or Navy. So in the sky and in the sea. And therefore, if you saw a lot of air signs come out like Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or the sea signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Blue is the color to celebrate the birth of a baby boy. So these angels may have been telling you might have a baby boy with this gentleman. In business, blue represents stability and honor. Blue is the color of the sea and the sky, of purification and clarity, soothing and tranquil. Blue indicates truth and honesty, wisdom and authority, healing of the mind, body, and soul. Blue symbolizes travel on the oceans and rivers. Blue is the color to celebrate the birth of a baby boy. In business, blue represents stability and honor. It's kind of funny. Normally they do firecrackers at night. For some reason today they're finally doing it in the daytime. Normally they wait till the nighttime and then they start little firecrackers. Now they're doing it in the daytime. Blue has a mystical allure. It says orange is opposite on the color wheel and it complements blue. So you might be the orange because some of these cards you got orange and you see the blue. You might be the orange. They say blue and orange are very strong together. In formal business, blue along with gray or black are the most respected informal business. Blue and orange, confident, sporty, victorious. That was quite interesting. All right, now let's do the color orange. Orange is ambition, fun, happy, energetic, balanced, flamboyant, warm, enthusiastic, generosity, vibrant, expansive, organic. But it says the international significance of orange is Ireland and the religious significance is Protestant. That's kind of crazy because I think you swing more towards the good old mother, the good old Catholics. But the orange significance is swinging towards a Protestant. That's interesting. All right. Now you're asking the question, will your ex be able to move on without you? And it makes me think of Richard Pryor. My favorite movie of all time is Which Way Is Up, where Richard Pryor played 3 major roles in that movie. He played the same. Richard Pryor playing 3 different characters in that movie. And the movie starts off with the grandparents, his mother and father, I guess, but they're old. And they're in the room right next to his. But they getting down. The man and the woman, the man and the wife, they going down. Getting down, getting down. But Richard Pryor is in a movie in a room with his wife, and she won't give him nothing. And that was essentially the movie. Then he would go to a job where he was discriminated against because he was black, and his boss was an a-hole, a racist a-hole. And then he basically went away, but when he went away, for whatever reason, he met another female, and she was gorgeous. She is totally beautiful. And she told him, she said, listen, I'll be a good woman to you. I won't make no problems for you. I'll be faithful to you. I'll be a good wife to you, but you better never cheat on me. That's the only thing he said. So when he came back home, he found out that his wife, who wouldn't give him no sex, was having a sexual affair with the reverend of the church. And Richard Pryor also played that character as well. So he gonna go to the church to see what the reverend looked like, and he see this man talking all this stuff, talking to the church. Now remember, this is also Richard Pryor playing this character, so he's sitting in the church watching this liar to this reverend that's sleeping with all the women, to be quite frank. So Richard Pryor, you know, he tried to go home to his wife, and she don't want to have sex with him. She still want to have sex with him though, or she's more sexually liberated, but now he don't want to sleep with her because of what she did, and she hurt him, and plus he made a promise to the other woman, but he don't. His wife don't know about her yet. So Richard starts conspiring because it's payback time. So now he goes to the reverend's wife, and she's really a Christian woman. See, whoever wrote this movie was good because it was so much how life really is. So the reverend's wife, she was really like a Christian woman. So Richard, you know, came in and he tried to seduce her at first, and she wasn't having it because she was a real Christian woman. So what Richard Pryor said, he said, "Oh, I wanna, you know, learn how to play the piano or whatever." So she's like, "Okay, I could teach you that, but ain't gonna be no nothing. That's the only thing we're gonna be playing is the piano." And he was like, "All right." So now he's with the reverend's wife, learn how to play the piano. He's not really messing with his wife too much, but the word got out that after his wife opened up to the reverend, she was letting everybody sleep with her. So he knew all this stuff. So all this stuff is going through his mind. And so then he had a friend too. He had a guy that was his best friend. So it took him a little bit to get the reverend's wife to open up, but she finally did. So he started having sex with her. But for him, it was just payback. So then, after he did that, he went back to the church, and the reverend was preaching. Saying, I think the third character Richard Pryor, not Richard Pryor, yeah, the third character Richard Pryor played, if I'm not mistaken, was his old father. I don't remember though, but he played 3 different characters, and this is my favorite movie of all time. So after he finally slept with the reverend's wife, he came back into that church, and the reverend was talking about sinners. You can't be up in here talking about God and sinning and blah blah. And he was just going in. And so Richard Pryor stood up and said, "You a lying mother, you know, boom, you know, beep beep." And the reverend and the church was shocked. Like the church was like, how can you say that to the reverend? And the reverend was just looking at Richard Pryor, and it was him. It was still Richard Pryor, just in a different case. This movie was funny. And so Richard Pryor finally said, "You've been sleeping with my wife." Blah, blah, blah. And the whole church was like, "Reverend, you sleeping with that man's wife?" And so then the other women in the church said, "I thought you was just sleeping with me." And all the women started getting him, you sleeping with him? Yeah. And like he was sleeping with everybody. So when the reverend realized that the gig was up, he tried to run. This old reverend trying to run out the church. And this is Richard Pryor. This movie was hilarious. So the reverend trying to run out the church. And trying to run out. And when he ran out, he got hit by a car and jumped. So the reverend lost his life, but that's karma though. You can't do evil. Evil gonna come back on you. That's a universal law. So then when the reverend died, everybody was sad, and then they all looked at Richard, like, because of you, our reverend is dead and stuff. So he had to walk out of there feeling all sad because the man was dead. But he still was like, I got my payback though. So now he went to see his wife. He was like, I know what you've been doing and stuff, and I'm divorcing you. I don't ever want to be with you again. So then he's going to divorce his wife. So he felt like he got revenge. He felt like he got revenge on the reverend. He divorced his wife, and now he felt like he was free. That's how he saw it. So now he was going back to this beautiful woman that he had now found. And when he got to her, she said, I know what you did. He said, what? She said, I know what you did. You slept with that reverend's wife. He was like, how'd she find out? How'd she find out? And then his best friend came out the room. So the last time he saw this woman was her telling him, I know what you did because your best friend told me, and I'm not with you no more. I'm with him. And walked out on him. Said, oh, shoot. Now, you got to remember, when I seen this movie, I was a little kid. Like, I was a young teenager. And that movie, but it was just hitting. And life is like that. Like, all that stuff in that movie, that like one. And I didn't know nothing about metaphysical movie, but that movie was real metaphysical. And that's why we warning people. They don't listen, though. But You gotta make sure you ain't being set up. You may think something's like a gift from the universe, but you actually being set up. Because that's what happened to him. So now he had nothing. But one thing it made him know, and this is what I be trying to tell people when you go through hardship and spiritual tests, he went back to that racist boss of his that was an a-hole. And he had quit. So the boss went looking for him. The boss pulled up in like a big ass limousine, and Richard was like walking his character, and he pulled up. He said, "Listen, you don't have to leave. You know what? You can come back. You was a good worker. You can come on back. You know, you a good old boy. You can just come on back and just keep on working for me." He said, "I'm telling you right now, this is the last opportunity you're going to get." He said, "You can get back in this car and I'll take you back to the factory and you'll keep on working for me." Or blah, blah, said something else. And then the best thing Richard Pryor said in that movie, because this is why I love the 70s. Now, I love the 70s because we had afros, we had identity, we had our dashikis, we had our identity. Our movies was coming out, we was somebody. But they took that away real quick. So one thing Richard said to that man, Richard said, "Man, I ain't coming back to work for you ever again. I'm walking away." He said, this is the last thing he said, "This is the last time you ever gonna see me." He said, "So when you see me walking away, you can kiss my black ass and just walk down that long road." It was like a desert road. It was like an old school like Clint Eastwood movie or like Dennis Weaver movie when they would have like a long desert and shit. And that's how the movie ended with Richard Pryor walking into the dark. So that was like Black Pride back then. That was beautiful. No, because they wasn't giving us nothing. So at least we had Richard. Okay, we had a couple of 1970 movies. We had something. Even like when Richard was in the woods in the other movie, talking and joking about the KKK, and then they showed up in the woods and stuff. So we had that. That was like that for us. That was beautiful because we didn't see nothing on no TV. We ain't see jack. Or if we did see something, it was like a Sambo, a comedian. But that movie, he like put it in. So even though he lost everything, but he gained who he was. He got his identity back, and that was beautiful. So I grew up on movies like Black Caesar was another one of my favorite movies. Because other than that, I didn't see nothing. Like they was playing us out like we didn't exist. So the point was he couldn't move on without his wife. I'm answering your question because he had to get paid back. Even though he had a woman and she warned him, "I'll do whatever you want. I'll be with you. I'll be a great woman to you. I'll never make problems for you or whatever. But you better never cheat on me." But because he had some unfinished business, he couldn't worry about that. He had to do in his mind he had to go get payback and get revenge, and he thought he was gonna get the woman, but he wasn't. So he lost everything because of it. But sometimes you need to lose everything so that you can begin new. So, well, I'm still going to, of course, I asked the question, but it's just that when it came to my mind, that was what came up. Dear Archangels, will her ex be able to move on without her? I'll be back with the answers. Here we go. Thank God it's beginning to cool off at 4:03 p.m. around the same time Tupac allegedly. Well, he used to always put 4:03 in his movies. All right. Boom. Relationship harmony. We angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. Wow, and that's Sagittarius. That's a hard card. That's a hard card to pull for a question like that. But you have to remember what I said. Sagittarius represents in-laws and higher courts. Your ninth house. So that they may be telling you. I know the card said. See, whenever you do this, that's why I say you have to get experts to know what they're talking about. See, how she's doing it is the correct way. Because I did her natal charts. I did some other stuff for her, I think. But I know. It's like when you go to it. Like, you don't just. Like, if you have one doctor that knows you and stuff, you don't just change, like, in mid whatever. Especially if it's like a major operation or something. Because this other doctor's not going to know. Even if they could be the best in the world, but they're still not going to have the information. So even though that card is from a relationship harmony, that ain't really. It's talking about the ninth house, ruled by Sagittarius, and that's about in-laws. That's about higher law, and because they're kind of telling you may have to really get tough legally for your own protection, and also that they're letting you know that some of the reasons why he won't just let it go because he's worrying about like in-laws and what they think and stuff like that. Like people are really miserable. Like they'd rather see you dead than to see you move on. See, I'm the type of dude. You tell me you want out, I'll be like, all right. I'm not like I might actually want like I'll actually like, are you sure this is what you want, something like that. But after that, I'd be like, cool. I mean, because like when I got out of mine, and well, I wanted to stay. The other person wanted to go, but there was a lot of stuff that went on. So I'm not saying they were wrong for wanting that, because it was a lot of, it had to do with a cult we was in. A lot of stuff happened because of that cult, and it was just a horrible situation. This is like the late 1980s. So I could see why that person felt the way they felt, but I could also see why I felt the way I felt. You know, because you're young, you're extremely young, and you're naive, and you're listening to, like, you have to understand this planet, because this planet is almost like a shell of reality, and that's why I try to tell people you got to kick that shell off and deal with the truth, and that Archangel card about prosperity, that's what she had, but she had the shell upside down, and all the money, all the prosperity was coming out of that shell. Because you got to do that. You got to realize you're in a matrix. You're in a shell. You got to break through that shell. I just saw on YouTube, on Yahoo News, a little chick broke through the shell, came out of the egg. It was 4 eggs, but that one was breaking out, and that thing could barely move. It just kept shaking and breaking, but it knew it had to get out that shell. And it's the same way with this matrix. If you really want to be successful, and Doreen Virtue tried to tell you, you got to really get out this matrix. You got to connect back to spirit, connect back to spirituality, and you got to trust spirituality to bless you for whatever you need to pay your bills or whatever you're going to do in life. And a lot of people on YouTube are doing it every day. That shows you that it can be done. So what they're telling you is they're working in your behalf to stop the intensity. But Raguel does represent the ninth house of in-laws and higher law. So it may take law and stuff like that. Because you take fire out of people when you expose them. See, people act like they act like they're, you know what, don't stink. And they act like they can't be touched and all that. But when they realize that they can be exposed, and then they think twice before they do stuff. That's why, like I said, for me, I don't know how to say this. Well, I do. Bottom line is, as much as people want to dream that, you know, everything's supposed to be beautiful, you'll meet your twin and you live happily ever after. That's just not the truth. In most of these cases, they might have some sex, but then they go back into separation. So if you've outgrown all that, like if you really want real love or no love, you're not really there for all the foolishness. Because people will take each other through hell, but they won't. That same energy they have to take each other through hell, they won't use it to work on their relationship. Everything I'm saying is just facts. There might be some exceptions to what I just said, but it's pretty much the truth. And that's why that movie, Which Way Is Up, resonated. Because it seemed like every step he took to be happy was fucked up. And every time he thought he got one over, it got him back. And that's how when you watch Jackie Gleason, the same thing. Everybody loved The Honeymooners. Now again, that's another metaphysical TV show. They're showing you the moon. They're showing you Freemasonry lodges. They're showing you a lot of metaphysical stuff. But they're giving it to you in a comedy, so you don't figure it out unless you're really, you know, down with that kind of stuff. Same thing with Ralph. Every attempt he made to be successful was blocked. One of the best honeymooner episodes was this one. Name that tune. Some of the old timers probably started clapping their hands when I said that. Name that tune. Here was Ralph. He finally found a way to make a whole lot of money very quickly. Go on a TV game show, and all you got to do is name that tune. And he knew Norton knew how to play the piano. Norton! Get in here, play the piano, Norton! Hey, Ralphie boy, I know how to play the piano, Ralphie, make a lot of money. Hey! There you go. So, you know, Norton's going to be Norton. He's going to piss Ralph off. So he's over there playing with the piano, always had a little warm-up song, and Ralph's ready for him to get started, and Norton's just over there doing his fingers and all the stupid stuff that Norton did, and he finally loses temper, yell at him and stuff, and Norton would almost jump out the seat. Hilarious comedy. So there you was. You thought he was ready. Every song Norton could play, Ralph knew the name of it. No way he was going to lose. So that he gets on TV show, ready to go. Mr. Cranham, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been practicing. I'm really ready. I'm really ready to go. All right, let's go. The first song that's played is that song that Norton always warmed up with. That Ralph would say, "Come on, get it out!" Yell at him for taking too long, and he didn't know the name of it. So it was almost like karma for all the times that Ralph bullied Ed. You know, it was almost like karma. So people that have been alive long enough see this all the time. And the reason why I tell you, like, people always say, well, what does that got to do with me? It's got everything to do with you. Right now, I have a guy that's been listening to me for 4 years. Now, he contacted me the other day, yesterday, and he was really upset. Oh, I got this going on in my life and blah, 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 blah. Oh, could you, da, 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 da. Now, stuff like that I've covered over and over again. Because, again, I know how the world generally goes. I've been here long enough. This is what I do, study all the time. But you can't wait till a situation has now invaded your space to wonder what's going on, how to this and how to do that. So that's why I said when people approach life from what about me, you're going to lose. Because your whole universe works on give and receive, give and take. Not take all the time. Or not allow people to run over top of you. But a lot of these people don't get it. And then when they finally realize that, wow, what's going on in my life, I need help, you're not going to be able to get help. Even if the person stops everything they're doing to help you, they're not going to be able to help you. Because that's the karma you built up. So your first card, will your ex be able to move on without you? Archangel Raguel is letting you know that they are working to calm things down. But remember, Raguel rules the 9th house of law, higher law, in-laws, and stuff like that. So it may be some form of legal restraints that need to be done. And what people do sometimes, they get advisories from the archangels, but they're afraid, and then they don't trust it. So, oh, he's really going to be mad if I do this or that. Sometimes you have to. And once a person knows you're serious, they become different. Because once a person sees you're not backing down and you're not afraid, you really want to get on with your life, they have no choice to a certain degree. Or they really have to come out of whatever they're hiding in. But once they come out of whatever they're hiding in, now it's exposed. And like I'm saying again, my twin lied on me, got me fired and everything. That's why she won't call me. That's why she won't send a postal letter. That's why she won't email. Because she doesn't want a record of anything. Because that's how she got away with it before. But that's what she wanted. That's why when people act like, oh, I'm a certain... No, I was trying to connect with her. She was the asshole. Now, for my own sanity and for me to move on with my own life, I got to call it like it is. And that's what I've been doing. And God has been backing me up against everybody. Because it was time to stop a whole lot of stuff that was wrong, that was allowed to go on and go on and go on and go on. And all these people are a bunch of wicked hypocrites. And I know that's the real world, but they still got to give me my space. So that's what we've been doing. So when you really want to move on, you got to get to that point where you're not going to just sit back and let somebody play you out. If you're moving on, you got to move on. You can't say you're moving on and then keep going backwards. So in order for your ex to move on without you, he's got to know you ain't coming back. It's not that difficult. We act like it's difficult because we're kind of playing emotional games with ourselves and others. But they got to kind of know. And like I said, like I don't know what to tell you. I'm just going to give you a worst case scenario. Let's just say somebody really is serious about moving on and they get somebody else, and maybe the other person comes over there or pulls out a gun or some crazy stuff. Well, that's still that person's problem, because you can't force people to stay with you, and you can't intimidate people so that they don't move on. There's laws against that. But sometimes you got to be strong enough to go through that process. And like I said, a lot of people would rather not deal with it, but that's where you do yourself a disservice. And that's where you put like 7 or 10 more years on a situation when it could have been finally over with. You like a lot of times you just can't be afraid. That's why if you notice me, I talk a lot about God and stuff like that. That's where my trust is. But that's why I don't worry about all that. I don't let nobody put their hands on me and try to stop me from anything I want to do. That's the reason why I move the way I do. I'm single. So nobody really has a hold on me. Like even where I work at, they already know I work a couple of times out the week. I'm not trying to be up in here all the time. Like I'm not. You can't call me and say, "Hey, listen, we need you," because because like, you already know. I told you that from day one. I'm not interested. I've already done that in my life. I'm not trying to do that again. I used to be that guy you could ride past a building at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm in there working and stuff. I don't do stuff like that no more. There would have to be a reason why I would do something like that, but I wouldn't just normally do that. So people have to know who you are, where you stand, and you do have the law on your side to help you. Now, can it get dangerous? Yeah, but the way I see it, the faster it gets dangerous, the more people realize that this is serious. And I tell anybody, never talk shit to anybody, because that's when people get crazy. But you do have other means to be free if you want to use them, and that's what Raguel is telling you. We can help you by trying to calm things down, but you have to use like the law or whatever you got, because Raguel represents the ninth house, which is higher laws. So that's one answer. Two more cards. I believe it's two more. Yep, two more. Jeremiah, all is well. This is Scorpio again. Everything is happening exactly as it's supposed to, with hidden blessings, as you soon will understand. But again, let's see all the times Jeremiah showed up. Take a life review. You are overcoming difficulty. All is well. Next card. Oh, Chamuel. Now, Chamuel says career transaction. This is Taurus energy. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. And it's that blue again. So that blue color keeps showing up when you're talking about that Taurus, that guy. So remember, Chamuel also tells you that he's going to find your soulmate. Chamuel, Taurus. I want to say blue again. Your career transition. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. So I'm not saying this is the case, but the implication of these cards is kind of saying if that Taurus guy was to ask you to have some type of partnership with him as well, business to even be involved with that. But it could be more than business. It could be relationship too. But a lot of these cards are kind of like career, business, and stuff like that. Thank you, Chamuel. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Raguel. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, all the archangels. All right, we're on to question number 9. Dear archangels, why is her ex always coming around for her? I'm gonna rephrase that. Dear archangels, why is her ex always coming around her? I'll be back with the answer. 4 cards pulled to answer that question. First card, gentleness. Now this is another kind of green card, but he's got blue, green, and green card. But this is Sandalphon. He says, be very gentle with yourself at this time. But listen to what he advises you to do. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. Now, if you were listening to me, because I have a different channel than this one, where I talk about everything, very honest. But I've been working very hard to get certain people out of my cipher. I don't care if they're family, neighbors, whoever they are, if they have a history of being a-holes, a history of starting trouble, history, just trying to take that peace away, they gotta go. I gotta push them back as far as I can, legally push these people back, because they're not doing nothing but causing nothing but drama. So I'm going to read it again, gentleness. And he's also playing his music. So you may have music you play, you may have music you listen to, but you have to learn how to be gentle, meaning you have to learn how to be very gentle with yourself at this time. You need to learn how to surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. So once again, if you have to use the law to do so, that's what Santa Fawn's trying to tell you to do. Because if not, you're allowing somebody else to control your situation. And a lot of men do that. A lot of men will mess up and then they think they still got some type of authority. But you really don't have any type of authority, because you kind of gave that up when you continually messed up or whatever you did. So Santa Fawn is strongly urging you to learn how to be gentle and have a gentle environment. Now let's show whatever he said the other times he showed up. Because we know he told you to keep praying and have faith, saying you have the victory, your prayers are being answered. And he showed you the lilac color, and we did mention law when we did the lilac color. So again, he's saying the same thing that Sagittarius said, that Raguel said, that law may be necessary to keep your peace. Now I thought he came up before, because I know he did say prayer and faith. Give me a moment. Okay, so he's only appeared twice. I really thought he appeared 3 times though. All right. See, we just live in a very crazy world where somebody may not want to be with you anymore. Like, I mean, you might, like, if you're a guy, you might be in a relationship with a female, and she really doesn't want to be with you anymore, but she also doesn't want to see somebody else with you. So you'll be saying, why would she care? Because everybody's not logical, and everybody's not logical thinkers. They're going off a lot of emotions, which are petty. All right, second card. Why your ex is always coming around. But she says, spread your wings. Now, I'm going to tell you, this card right here, this is Ariel. When she says, spread your wings, do not hold back. Right now, the timing is perfect and you're ready to soar. But this is an abusive card. Whenever this card comes in a relationship reading, that female has either gotten her ass kicked by the guy, is about to get her ass kicked. And when he does it, he really doesn't. Like, he really messes her up. One female he beat her so bad she left. Like, she totally left the area. She's still in the same country, but this is out in Australia. She's in the same country, but she moved like way on the other side. But this is the abusive man. Get as far away from him as you can. This is the Aries spread your wing card. Spread your wings. And you gotta remember who Ariel is. She's a warrior. Out of all the 15 archangels, I think she's the most warrior of them all. So if she's telling you to run, that's how serious this is. That's why when I talk to certain people, even like I told her, because I didn't know what was being said about this guy. I just didn't want to see her in the same situation she already was in. So she told me, no, I'm pretty sure he's different. And I was like, I hope for your sake. I said that to her. I said, I hope for your sake that he's different than the other guy. And I was like, this is what you need to find out. Ask the Archangels. They'll tell you. And she was right, it seems. It seems like the Archangels are saying this guy is different. But now Ariel is saying, get away from this man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can use the law. You use whatever you have to. Because I know a lot of times you're in fear. And, oh, no, he's going to do this to me. Oh, he's going to do that to me. But what good is it? If he still comes and beats you up anyway, what good is it? See, I'm a little bit different because I came up through a violent background. So I really don't care. Like, what else can they do? I don't care, but I know I'm going to have my peace. And that's why, like I said, my neighbors were out of pocket on 2 occasions recently. I will not go into both of them, but in both occasions I was right and I got the proof to prove it. But because I'm a black male, nobody cared. Bottom line. So I was constantly being disrespected. So I had to turn it up a little bit more and let everybody know. If you think I won't go over your head to get this done, you're wrong. I will go over your head and it'll still get done. And you're going to be embarrassed when this comes out. And then that's when people started bowing down and getting the heck out of my line. Just cross your line and stay across on your side. Don't come on my side anymore. Because all you do is cause trouble when you come. So you got to be tough sometimes. And sometimes, I'm sorry, but sometimes you got to go through that struggle at first. Because nobody's going to believe it until they see it. Then once they see it, then they're like, hey, this guy really needs some training. Or this guy, he needs to be on whatever. Right now, this guy he don't need no revolver because he's a little too crazy right now. But if you're scared of him, all you're doing is fear only gives your enemy the power. Whenever you're afraid, you're giving that person the power. And if they was going to beat you up because you said something, they was going to beat you up anyway. That's the only way you get free, y'all. Like I said, a lot of this is not a joke. When it comes to something free, you have to really want your freedom. Otherwise, you ain't going to get it because you're not afraid and you're not going to get it. There was a TV movie where a female wanted to get out of her situation with this guy. So she befriended this other guy. And she led that guy to believe that she was in love with him. And she led him to believe, oh, if you could just get rid of him, we could be together. So she set this guy up. And he actually went over there and killed a boyfriend or ex-husband, whatever it was. Went over there and killed him. But then he goes to jail. You know what I'm saying? So I think she was just using that guy. But if she did want to be with him, she couldn't be with him now because now he's arrested. And I think it got really ugly because once he got arrested, she wasn't following up on him. So then that's when he changed his tune. So then he went with his lawyer and said, okay, I did do it, but I did it because she incited me to do it and stuff. So then they were trying to get the female arrested too. Alright, give me a moment because I'm uploading this video. And then I'll be right with you. Come on, come on, come on. Even that movie J-Lo made a good movie. That's exactly how you have to be because she had the same thing, an abusive husband. He was playing mind games on her and she got sick of it. So she started fighting for herself. That was a good ass movie. She literally, like in the movie, she actually fought the guy, you know. Like she had learned martial arts and shit. And she actually fought his ass. But you don't have to do all that, but you just got to stand up for yourself. Because you ain't going to get free until you do. And I always say, like, any man that just doesn't let it go when it's over, There's something wrong with them because that's life. People are gonna change. Things are gonna change. And a lot of times these men ain't even faithful to these women, but yet you're mad because she wants to move on. Come on, I don't got time for this. It's funny because I sent yours out and it came back, but it's good because I forgot to put the title in. There you go. Yeah, so she's telling you to get the hell out of there. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean running and fleeing, but it means putting him in a situation that he can't just show up and do what the heck he wants to, because that's what he's trying to do. Next card. Healthy lifestyle, Raphael. Eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. So they're telling you got to learn how to really take care of yourself, eat healthy, live healthy, exercise, get out in nature, eat right, sleep right. Because when people are stressing out, they stop doing all those things. But he's really telling you to make sure that you do. I never noticed that even his arms are dark orange and his face is dark orange. It's almost like for some reason it's alluding to Donald Trump. I don't know. I don't know. Alright, so is there a dark orange? Wow, it says dark orange can mean deceit and distrust. That was deep. Now, orange can be joy, sunshine, and the tropics. Enthusiasm, fascination, happiness, creativity, determination, attraction, success, encouragement, and stimulation. But that's regular orange. But then you got to do dark orange can mean deceit and distrust. So I think they're talking about your ex. So again, when they're telling you to be healthy, then the healthy would be getting rid of him. Because if the dark orange means deceased and distrust, but this is a healthy lifestyle card, then they're telling you to get rid of him because it's not healthy to be caught up with deceit and distrust. And you need to see the healthy lifestyle card. He even has that dark orange around his chest, and it's like red like fire. because that means he'll use his position and to try to destroy you. And that's what another officer did that to my friend Talia. He really made her out to be a piece of trash. When he was done with her, she couldn't even see her own kids, like legally, because he was beating her up. Because she needed medical help and stuff, and he just beat her up. And she couldn't defend herself. She couldn't really defend herself because it was like medical. But he switched it and made it seem like, oh, she's high, she's too high, and they wouldn't let her see her own kids and shit. And now it's fucked up. But the devil's a liar. That's why we trying to tell you. All he does is lie. So both this card and the gentleness card by Sandalphon, they both are similar with that orange and the shades of green and stuff. But they're saying he'll use anything to really get you, to take revenge and get payback. All right, fourth card for this question. See, now I got hot again. This stuff is getting crazy. Now, this is the card I was looking for. This is Michael. Now, Michael's telling you crystal clear intentions. Be clear about what you desire and focus on it. Focus upon it with unwavering faith. So you can't be saying one thing and doing another, because that's what a lot of females do. If it's really over, they make it so. Because otherwise, what you're doing is sending out double messages. And that makes him think he has a right to come around and say, no, no, this is going to be this way. No, 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 blah, 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 and all this crazy stuff. When a person really knows they're not supposed to come around and they can't come around, that makes them wake up to a little reality check. And does that mean they'll stop coming around? Maybe, maybe not. But like when he's dealing with his career and stuff, he better think more seriously about it. All right. Now, for the divine masculine, I just changed it to male, just to make sure it's no leading. But it's pretty sure they already answered that he is. Dear Archangels, does the Taurus male research about twin flames and soulmates online? 4 cards came to answer that question. Outdoors is Jophiel, and she's got her little rose. Go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. Now remember, Jophiel rules your 7th house, and that's where he is in that Uranus energy. So that answer would be affirmative, but it also makes me feel like they're saying he actually spends a lot of time outside where he does a lot of his thinking. Whether that's outside on the patio roof or really outside walking around or with his dog on the beach, who knows? But it's that dark color blue is right there too, and that color orange. says to get outdoors, and she's the one that told you basically to get out. Be patient. But while she was saying that, she was outside with a gardening. See, as much as people think they have a right, that's what I was trying to say in one of my latest videos on the other channel. You have people that think they have a right to get all up in your life and cause all this drama and all, but they don't. And if you notice, they don't have that type of crazy stuff going on in their life. Like when they want to go out with their kids, they don't want you showing up talking crazy and messing the kids' day up and stuff. But yet they'll try to do it to you. So that's why I said it's these reasons why you have to cut off how many times you're going to spend with these people and what you're going to do with them. And they don't like it, but unfortunately they brought it to that point. Next card, brilliant idea. And this is Uranus again. Again, Uranus is in your 7th house. And again, this is blue and orange. So they're really big up in this guy for you. I'm impressed. And I think he's the blue and you're the orange. That's what I think. Blue and orange. Says brilliant idea. Yes, your idea is divinely guided. So they're saying yes, he does. He is thinking about twin flames and soulmates. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. So what you also have to do is find out where his Uranus is on his chart. And this is another reason why you don't need. That's why I try to tell you, if it's really time to move on, it's time to move on because you're messing up your future for somebody who obviously didn't appreciate you in the past. He's just being a bad. So that's why I said sometimes you just gotta trust the universe, toughen up, and you know about law, and just fight to get out of that. Like I said, when a person told me they wanted out, I double checked with them to see if that's what they really wanted, and they said yeah, and then I began to work it out. Now this person was so crazy, but it's nothing different than what I see today. Like it's the same crazy shit on this planet. You kind of get used to it. So now, while I'm working to move and everything, they're talking crazy. They're talking like, oh, he's gonna move his stuff out and leave me here. Like, why would I do that? Now this person's been with me for. Have you ever seen me do anything like that? So just crazy stuff that people come up with. But it's what I'm talking about. Just the basic lies that come out of people's mouths. So that didn't happen. Everything got moved at the correct location. Nobody did no stupid stuff. And then a person kept coming around. Now this is the same person that rushed everything. Rushed everything. I was telling the person, take your time, let's think about it. They rushed everything, but then they're still coming around, still coming around. And then I finally had a different girlfriend, and this person was still trying to come around. So finally that person found her phone number, called her up and said, listen, he's with me now. You didn't want him, he's with me. Don't come around. She had to tell her don't come around. And you gotta understand too, like that blue color, the blue, because when you think about the twin flame, the flames, it's gonna be like orangey red, but the blue flames is really a twin flame color. They call it the blue ray. And her name is, her channel is Twin Flames Merge Patricia McNeely. So she talks about the blue ray of the twin flames. So that's interesting. And also, I think that's where your 2333 is. So him being in Egypt, whether he knows it or not, he probably does have a connection to Sirius constellation 23. And in the secrets of Egyptology, a lot of Freemasons have it at 33 degrees. But again, you still got to be careful because you got Scorpio in the 7th house and Uranus retrograde. So that could be some bipolar stuff going on. And Scorpio is very emotional and also a lot of power struggles and stuff like that. So you have to be aware of these things and careful as well. Next card, leadership. So far, all these cards have that orange. But they all look alike. Different shades of orange. Archangel Gabriel says it's time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. So in other words, you can't just sit back and think it's going to work itself out. You have to do things. And they're telling you to act in a non-judgmental way, which is why Gabriel is dropping his horn. But it's funny how Gabriel keeps showing up when it's you and him. When it's you and this guy, this Taurus, Gabriel keeps showing up. So one or both of you have a connection to Archangel Gabriel. Next card. It's funny when I said about Donald Trump, then all this orange showed up, and then he's got the Trump dropping the Trump. So I'm interested in a political political direction either one or both of these people are moving in. Quite interesting. Fourth card, I can't answer this question. Now this one goes kind of like aqua blue or something, but that is divine order. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past illusion to see underlying to get order. But now you got to remember, divine order is the scales. This is like the twin flame card because he's holding the scales, and Raguel is a friend. of God. So it's all about twin flame friendship, because that color orange is all in these cards. Variance colors of orange. So if they're going to divine order with you in the sky, that's another reason why you have to, like Gabriel said, you got to stop being afraid. You got to stand up for it. And even if you look at the Gabriel card, it's blue, but it's in the background. Because like what a woman's gonna do, she's gonna try to let the man handle it. But it's like it's really your life, so you should be the leadership. It's like the blue is in that card, but it's in the back. So like Gabriel's like telling you, he's really telling you, you're gonna have to like make sure that you can move on with your life without somebody keep trying to pull you in the back to the where you don't want to go. Okay, now primarily this color orange, I want to know what color it is. All right, vermilion, because it is darker. There is a color called red orange, but this one's darker, I think. Is it? I think so. Yeah, vermilion. Color symbolism of vermilion. This is called livewire.com. You're a live wire. Interesting. So this is a cinnabar, china, or china red. It is a tone of rich red with a bit of orange in it, much like scarlet. It is the color of life associated with blood because of the red color and eternity. It carries with it the same symbolism as red, a power color also associated with love, marriage, and religion. Mm-mm-mm. And that's really a twin soul or a soulmate. Got all this crazy stuff going on. Now, vermilion or cinnabar is also called, contains mercury. Well, remember, mercury is all about communication. You can date back to 7,000 to 8,000 BC, and it was used by the ancient Romans as well. But the Chinese used it as well. They call it Chinese red. Didn't mean to do that, but I do want to do this. This is Astro Matrix. Resurrection, love. Yeah, that is the second house. Like the ninth house is usually like a later in life relationship, and it usually goes way much better than like the earlier life or the Gemini life. Venus is going to be in Cancer July 3rd until July 28th. So get ready. That's that nurturing love. Yeah, baby. All right, everybody. We do have a solar eclipse coming up July 3rd. So that color that's on these cards, that really like orangey yellowy, is called vermilion. And what it's basically telling you is this could be like a better love, a more mature love. All right, thank you, archangels. Now just give me a moment. Dear archangels, what does she need to know about the Taurus? I'll be back in a moment. Compassion. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that a nice card? And this is also a very tropic color. Somehow this Taurus guy, he's got connection to like tropic stuff, like tropic juice, peaches. But it says compassion is Gemini again, Zechariah. Soften your heart with respect to the situation and all the people involved, including yourself. But they say he's very compassionate. And I just want to look this color up before I pull a second card. Just give me a moment, please. And now we got to find out what this color is, and then in this card he's and it's funny because your Taurus friend, his skin complexion or whatever, because this card is showing it. but he's like got something in his hand. But he might know how to, like I told you, that 33 degrees. He knows how to do things because some people can harness power in their hand. I've seen Benny Hinn do it. I'm just talking. I'm not talking about when he touches people and knocks them over. I'm talking about it was a guy that came to Benny Hinn to get allegedly anointed. This guy got in trouble with the police though, but he came to Benny Hinn to get anointed so he could have a ministry similar to Benny Hinn, and Benny Hinn did it. But when Benny Hinn was like anointing this guy, he was doing all those like Hindu, like those mystic hand signs and shit. So when he was doing that, that's what he really was doing. He was conjuring a power in his hand and then hitting that guy with it. And this is what this guy is doing in this card. He's conjuring a power within his hands. So he knows some secret stuff, like I told you. For all we know, he's got like Egyptian or Arabian prince blood in his blood. All right. So what is this color? Hallelujah. All right. Let's go. I think the color is, according to this chart, I think it's red violet. It looks like antique pink, but it's a little darker, which would be red violet. Oh, and the next card she turned over. She didn't even want to wait. And I said, if this card comes out, this is what I said when I went over there and asked that question, because this is the most romantic card in the deck, which is sensitivity, the Haniel card. You are extra sensitive to energies and emotions right now. Honor yourself and your feelings. So this is the compassionate lover who's capable of giving the type of love you find Haniel playing her harp about in the garden. And I think both of y'all will be spending time outside. I believe this man loves it outside, but he's been on the water before and he's been in the air as well. So he will be a refreshing outing from what you had. Because I think that other guy, just from what I heard from you primarily, I think he's a little rigid, too rigid. And I think the in-laws were too much in the business too. Just what I think. All right. So we're going to look up red violet, color meaning of red violet. Come on now, give it to me. I don't know if that's them cause see my soulmate's house is right up the street. I don't know if that's them with them firecrackers or the house right next to it. I really don't know. See, they don't really want to give you the meaning of it, but they'll give you like the Wikipedia. Alright, well, red violet seems to be a cute and sassy color. Alright, this time I'm going to leave it in. I'm going to leave the word divine masculine in. Because I'm going to say it exactly how you wrote it. Because they'll know exactly what you're asking. Because I think I know, but when it thinks, I don't want to think. So the best way to do it is say it exactly the way you wrote it. And they'll answer it. Does the Taurus divine masculine and his third want to tell her anything? I'll be back with the answers. 2 cards drawn. Hello from heaven. And this is Capricornian. But remember, Capricorn is a business. Because it might be a business partnership between you and this person. It's Archangel Azrael. And I think this is the first time he's come in your whole reading. Which is interesting. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feed and feel their loving blessings. So that card is connecting him to your loved ones in heaven for some reason. Next card. Azrael again. This is deep. This is becoming one of the deepest readings I've ever done. And it's blue. Comfort. I am with you in your time of need, helping your heart to comfort. So it's almost like he's got the seal of approval from your loved ones in heaven that he's actually sent to comfort you. That is deep. And Capricorn is usually the business and career and reputation, usually the 10th house. I think it's raining, I think. And if it is, I hope that means it'll cool off. Because today was unbelievably. Usually around this time it's cool. Well, between 5 and 7 it starts getting cool. Not now. Alright, I'm going back to your natal chart. Yup, and see, even your Capricorn got 23. And it's in the 9th house, which is Sagittarius. Because I'd explained you a 9th house. So now you got Capricorn, you got Sagittarius, the 9th house, and you got 23. And all of those are making references to him. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Dear Archangels, does her spirit and the Taurus' spirit see each other in higher dimensions? I'll be back. 3 cards were pulled. First card, Raziel, Leo, with another dove. I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. And the reason why I said higher dimensions and not 5D, because when we say 5D, we're only going by what people taught us, but we really don't know. And what happens is, what if you all see each other in a higher dimension than 5? Then the answer would have had to have been no. So I just said higher dimension. And that card with Raziel seems to agree that that is the case. Your question is yes. Because spiritual understanding is the same thing as saying higher understanding. And then Chamuel shows up. Beloved one, I am helping you with your spirit soulmate relationship. So that's Taurus. He's in Taurus energy. It's Chamuel. And he always brings your soulmate or your twin to you. So again, the answer is yes. And then this card came out earlier today. This is Azrael again, Capricorn card. You are a natural counselor and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. So that's a very positive read. And that's good because she's been through a lot. But unfortunately in this world, to really get where you need to get, you're going to be challenged to fight, kind of stand up for yourself, fight for it. Don't fear what somebody might say they're going to do, and if something does happen, to come back from it. But that does end this reading. There are readings out there going on. I will be doing a mother and daughter reading very shortly, and I also will be doing a update, a natal chart update based on the most recent natal chart. It's been a pleasure. This is Gary.